Well, hope you enjoyed spring break. Um, Hope the midterm wasn't too terribly difficult for you. Those who had kind of been studying will find they've probably done pretty well. You kind of notice behind me here things are rather empty. That's because I'm preparing to retire at the end of this semester. I'll continue to teach the class, but my full-time duties here at the college in the pre-R department will come to an end. It will be the end of, since 1974, I've been in newspapers or I've been writing, so it's, what is that, like 42 years, 43 years. But we'll continue to trudge along here and do our activities for the rest of this semester, and hopefully I'll have a class in the fall. If you're enjoying this class, tell people around you that you might see or are looking for a class. I'd like to start it up again in the fall. This class it begins a two-parter on digital reporting. We're going to take a long look at that and how digital reporting has kind of taken over uh, print. I'm sure that in print soon we'll see that come to a pretty substantial end. The local newspaper is kind of showing signs of that already. We're cutting news whole and cutting staff and more emphasis on online. I would imagine soon they'll announce probably going to 2-day-a-week newspaper, something during the week and something on Sunday. But more and more people, especially people in that millennial age or Generation X, depend on online for their news. Uh, Hopefully it's a reliable news. But even since I wrote this for last semester, things have gotten even quicker now. With Facebook Live being introduced, you can instantaneously cover things, mostly in a raw basis with not a lot of context given to it, especially when there's events that are unfolding and developing by the second. A person can just turn on their phone, turn on Facebook Live, and they're ready to go. Um, there's still going to be a need for reporting. No matter what kind of platform or venue we use, good, solid reporting is needed. And so we're going to start looking at all the different devices that are used on the web to do some quality reporting. You're going to learn about all the different techniques that are into web pages, what makes for a good web page. A lot of the major news reporting uh, businesses have really good quality web pages. I want you to kind of take a look at those. It's not really a sign, but spend some time maybe looking around this week at the New York Times and the Washington Post and some of the major news organizations and how they put their pages together in comparison to what is recommended for them. I really have, and then there's also a piece in the lesson plan on how Twitter is kind of teaching people to write shorter. The shorthand version of writing is really not acceptable. We need to make sure we write completely and try to be as communicative as possible. But read that, and then there are two assignments. One is a discussion where I want you to suggest a way that the media can improve disseminating the news and just kind of talk about that amongst yourselves. And then another one, I want you to use either your Facebook or Twitter account and ask a question and then see what kind of responses you get. And just kind of chronicle those responses, who responded. If you get people who you've never heard from or heard of before, chronicle those and just kind of write a list of what kind of responses you got, what kind of suggestions and things like that. And then next week we will continue to look at that. Um, Before you know it, we're going to be at the end of this semester. It doesn't take long after spring break for things to come rushing to an end. So you're all doing a good job of keeping up with everything. So I appreciate your cooperation. If you have any questions about this one, let me know. And we will talk to you again next week. Thanks again.